It's coming for me, I can hear it. This might sound completely weird, but I work in the sewers. As disgusting as it seems, I've learned to ignore the disgusting smell or even the disgusting sights I see down there, but this was an unusual day. It of course started out normal like usual, but suddenly all the noise I typically hear wasn't present at all. It was completely quiet. I even checked into my manager, and even he thought this was unusual. Typically we hear running water and stuff like that. My job is to clean the walls of the sewer and to keep everything in check. As I'm thinking of reasonable explanations in my head, I start hearing scratching. Loud scratching like scratching on a chalkboard. That noise stopped quickly, then it turned into growling. "Hello? Who's there?" I shouted. The growling intensifies, and by intensifies I mean severely. It got so loud to the point where I had to cover my ears. I radioed to my manager to send help. I told him that there was something down here besides me. There was complete static. I was worried. "Come in. There is something. Send help." Then it turned to static. What the hell was going on? I was completely frightened now. It was at this moment I realized the growling had stopped. I could only fear the worst had happened to him. I had to get out of there as soon as possible to call for help. The first escape route that came to mind was the ladder, located near the east tunnels. I had no exact idea of where it was, since I had never worked over there. I pulled out my phone to use as a flashlight, while also checking to see if my manager had sent me a map or anything. No luck. I could only hope that I'd be lucky and survive. It must have been 15 minutes of complete silence. I look to check the time on my phone, and when I look up, I see something completely terrifying. It had razor-sharp claws, crocodile-like teeth, and the face of a rat. It looked like something out of a horror movie. I turned my phone off so it wouldn't see me. I waited and waited. Finally the creature left. I waited a couple more minutes after that, and finally turned my flashlight back on. There it was, the ladder. I had to dash for it before the creature came back. I had no regrets running in an open space, where it could easily get me. Bit by bit, I climbed the ladder. It must have seen me, because by the time I was halfway up I heard a loud roar. I didn't see it though. All of a sudden I hear loud screams. I kept climbing, even while hearing the horror of my colleagues' bones being crushed. To this day, I'm still glad to be alive. The police went down in the sewers but never found any remains or the creature. It must have migrated or died of starvation. Sometimes when I sleep, I see red glowing eyes outside my windows. But I know that I'm just imagining, at least I hope.